If you have been around this channel for a while, you know that my name is Sid. And apart from reviewing the latest and greatest gadgets in the town, I from time to time keep on revisiting old smartphones to tell you whether or not they are prudent purchases in today's time or not. And in today's video, I'll be talking about a smartphone that I have bought for myself and would be using as my primary device. If you haven't checked out the title of this video already, this is going to be the 2017 review of the Apple iPhone SE. And in this video, I'll be telling you whether or not it makes sense for you to buy this phone today, and we'll together find out whether it suits us or not. Now, I don't want this review to be a spec narration. You can find the specifications of the smartphone on any website, preferably ours. But what I want to focus more on is the user experience. Quite simply, there are reasons you would want to buy an iPhone SE and reasons you would not want to buy an iPhone SE. Because I'm in a good mood today, I'll start with the reasons you would want to buy an iPhone SE. Starting with the designing. Now, you might have a different opinion here, but if you ask me, current generation of iPhones don't even look half as classy as the iPhone SE. This phone retains the design of the iPhone 5S, which in my opinion was one of the best designed Apple products. But there are some quality improvements. The iPhone SE has got Series 6000 aluminum on the back, and the chamfered edges on the sides now have a matte finish. And oh, the phone is now also available in pink. I mean, rose gold. And the second good thing about the iPhone SE is its display. Now, if you're planning to buy an iPhone SE, you have to like small screen phones. And why not? It works perfectly with just one hand, and you don't need to use any funny tricks to reach the notification bar. Typing, though awkward at first, becomes fun after a while as you have one hand free for doing other stuff. But most importantly, iOS is tailor-made for the screen because reaching the back button is pretty comfortable on the smartphone. And the last reason is performance. The iPhone SE is as good as an iPhone 6s in its internals, which means anything you can do on an iPhone 6s, you can do with the same speed and quality with the iPhone SE as well. It can run all high-end games on the App Store flawlessly. But whether you will play on the screen or not is something you need to decide. Thankfully, I got a fix for that. But by performance, I did not just meant gaming or other daily tasks, which iPhone SE is more than just capable of handling. In fact, RAM management on iOS is pretty solid. iPhones don't need 6 GB of RAM to give you the same experience. They can give you better RAM management even with the lack of it. But I was also talking about the camera performance. It is alluring. The phone has got the same camera configuration and the same camera as the iPhone 6s, and while it is not the best camera out there currently, the results are pretty amazing. You get superb looking shots in almost all scenarios. Here, take a look. Plus, the phone is capable of capturing 4K videos and live photos too. And personally, this form factor feels a tad bit better while taking snaps. But the biggest reason for me to buy the iPhone SE was its battery life. You see, the Plus variants of the iPhones generally have good battery life, but they are big and bulky. And the small iPhones have pathetic battery life. And the iPhone SE, due to its power-efficient CPU coupled with a low-resolution display, is able to pull off some great battery life. In fact, it's as close to the iPhone 6s Plus, which is something amazing. Now, I have everything on: Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, 4G, even the brightness is set on auto, and without any low power modes turned on, I'm able to get around 1.5 days of battery life on the smartphone with 6 to 7 hours of screen usage time. And that is amazing for an Apple smartphone. And while I do appreciate the presence of a low power mode, I do miss fast charging on the smartphone, even though it doesn't take as much time to charge as an iPhone 6s and a 6s Plus, thankfully. Well, is it a good phone to buy? Of course it is. But there are certain issues this phone has as well. In fact, most of its pros are actually its cons. For instance, the classic design is now outdated. Unless you carry this phone in pink, and that too without a case, 99% of the people will think that you are carrying an iPhone 5s. Secondly, the display, which I so admire, is actually small. I mean, really small. It does get difficult to read text on some websites, in the apps, and even video subtitles. In fact, with this poor a resolution and this small a screen, it's not even the best phone to watch videos on. In fact, my productivity has declined on this smartphone because typing long mails, reading long scripts, editing them is no fun on a display this tiny. And the third reason is the cameras. While the rear camera is pretty amazing, the front one is a piece of shit. And I mean it. A 1.2 megapixel camera whose maximum resolution is only HD clicks some crappy selfies that look even crappier on a bigger display. Now, there are certain phones who have better megapixel count on their front cameras, but iPhone SE can overpower them. For example, the Redmi 3S Prime. Yet, those are cheap smartphones. This one is not that cheap. The only thing I appreciate is the presence of a retina flash for illuminating my night fields. Fourthly, the features on the new iPhone. Now, I'm not talking about waterproofness or stereo speakers on the new iPhone 7 because this phone was launched much earlier than that. Yet, when you compare the iPhone SE to the iPhone 6s, the iPhone SE lacks the 3D touch, it uses an outdated version of Wi-Fi and also an outdated version of the fingerprint scanner. But very personally, I do believe that unless you are coming from an iPhone 6s or comparing it to an iPhone 6s, you might not even feel this pinch. And the last point is actually more prevalent in the Asian countries. This phone has no appeal. You see, in countries like India, iPhone is a status symbol good, but this phone has no status whatsoever. Most people will presume that you're carrying an iPhone 5s, and to those to whom you will tell you're carrying an iPhone SE, be ready. Be ready to answer why you did not go for an iPhone 6s instead. And that sums up my review for the iPhone SE in 2017. But before I head to my verdict, let me start by telling you why I bought this phone. You see, I own a MacBook, I have an Apple iPad, I have an iMac at my home. So buying an iPhone makes sense for me because I can then use features like continuity where you could receive and dial calls straight on your MacBook. Moreover, I like compact phones. I like light phones which are small in size and can fit and be used with one hand only. And the only reason I was resisting to switch to an Apple iPhone 6, 6s or 7 was because these phones have terrible battery life, which is very good on the iPhone SE. Yet the biggest problem for me in this phone as of now is selfies. I mean, I'm that kind of a guy who clicks 100 selfies in one day. And this selfie camera just isn't fit for sit. But for you guys watching, I'd say that if smartphone is your complete ecosystem, you watch videos on it, play games on it, surf the web on it, it's the whole of your digital life, then this 4-inch screen won't suit you, it won't do you any good. However, if you have separate devices for this, like a laptop or a tablet, and smartphone is an extension of your mobile experience, and you want trivial happiness like being able to use your phone with one hand, typing with one hand, or being able to carry your phone in almost all pockets with absolute ease, go buy the iPhone SE. And that's what I feel of the iPhone SE in 2017. But what is more important for me to know is what you feel of the smartphone. Did I make the right choice or not? Do let me know in the comment box below. Also, if you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you like me, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and come back and see more of me. My name is Sid. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao. By the way, for audio files, the bottom firing speaker is actually quite loud. And the best part is that unlike the newer iPhones, the SE still has a headphone jack.